Good evening, America and YouTube. Dooley Godot here. I am your meteorologist. I am going to take you through your Wednesday and the rest of this work week, get you ready for the weekend. Yes, that is correct. We're going to talk about a couple of things today I want to cover. We're going to talk about the Alberta Clipper that's currently affecting the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes and the potential for another big East Coast storm. Yes, that is right. We're not done yet. Winter is just getting started, baby. So let's jump right into the weather models right now. We are going to take a look at our GFS and that big Alberta Clipper. You see it? There it is right there. It's kind of a weird storm because all of the snow seems to be centered over Canada. Maybe a few areas of the extreme northern parts of Michigan, Minnesota saw, and maybe this northeastern tip of North Dakota saw a little snow from this. There was some freezing rain mixed in just a little bit, but for the most part it was light snow. But the big thing with this system is the wind and the cold. You see how tight these isobars are? That indicates how that pressure gradient is really strong, and those winds are howling. If you're out in North Dakota and South Dakota and you're out on the open prairie and open plains, and you just hunker down because it's going to blow you over. You know, this is the kind of weather that likes to tip semis out on the open highways on I-94, headed out North Dakota, heading into Montana, and on I-80, going to Wyoming and western Nebraska. You like to see those kind of winds like to tip over semis and RVs. So if you're in those big heavy vehicles, do what you can to stay safe and pay attention to the weather conditions out there on the highway. Don't be driving like nothing's happening. You semi drivers know what I'm talking about. So here he is with this Alberta Clipper that's making its way across the border. It's riding the border between the U.S. and Canada, and it's currently centered over northern Wisconsin. And if you look here, if you're in Indiana, Illinois, and Michigan, you are on the side of the storm where the airflow is coming into the system. So you're still out ahead of the system. So temperatures for you is still in the 30s, still you're on the warm side of this, as it hasn't passed your area. But if you're over in Minnesota and the Dakotas, watch out, because that temperature change is starting to take place, and you're going to see those temperatures drop from the mid 30s where they were today into the single digits for highs tomorrow. So that's going to be a very big, a 30-degree temperature drop from today and tomorrow. And we're going to take a look at those temperature maps coming up. So let's take a look at what's going on. So this guy is going to move over into the more of the Great Lakes area tomorrow. You'll see that it's going to kind of lose a little bit of its punch as it heads into northern to eastern Canada and Nova Scotia, and maybe brush a little bit of Maine. It's going to have a little cold front dragging along with it, could spark some showers and a little bit of snow along the Appalachians. This is Appalachia, could see some snow and some rain. There it is. And another little piece of energy is coming on shore along the Pacific Northwest. Going to see some valley rain and some rain along the beaches and some snow up in the mountains. And that system is going to make this way across the high plains and the northern areas of the Rockies and along the U.S.-Canada border. And it's going to be our next Alberta Clipper. And we're going to see that guy move into our area about the 22nd. So we're going to get about a 3 to 4 day break from any significant precipitation. There are little impulses embedded that this model doesn't really pick up very well, but we're going to look at a model that does pick it up in a little bit, and you'll see little impulses riding in that cold air. In that cold air, there are little pieces of energy, so we might see a flurry here and there from time to time over the next several days here in Minnesota. And so this guy is going to keep moving. As you can see, on the south in the southeast here, this big area of precipitation, and it's connected to a frontal boundary that's connected to that last Alberta clipper that went through, that's now out over the open Atlantic. As you can see, this area is trying to get its act together and get organized, but it's not going to really happen too much for it. An area of low pressure is going to form off the coast, but it's going to move on out to sea and not affect too much. Maybe brush the northeast with a little bit of light snow or some light rain from on here for us on the 24th. That is going to keep on moving on out to sea. And here we are with another Alberta clipper. And this one's going to be a little bit further south. We can see a little bit heavier snow from this system, maybe an inch or two of snow across Minnesota. This is going to spread into Wisconsin as well as northern Illinois and the northeastern corner of Iowa. It's going to see a little bit of snow from this system on the 24th. And this one is going to move on off to the east and affect the northeast with a little light snow and some rain along the coast before it heads off into the ocean. And then we're going to keep on moving as you can see, little impulses, little frontal boundaries here in Florida. In the southeast is going to bring occasional showers and a thunderstorm along for Florida as well for the 25th and the 26th. And then here is another potential for a Alberta clipper. Another system tries to gather on the east coast along the eastern seaboard. Now we are talking about the 29th. Here is what the GFS is trying to say is going to be our next big East Coast storm. This one is going to actually be stronger, at least according to the GFS right now, going to be stronger than the last storm. I want to show you what some of these pressure readings get to. If you look at these pressure readings, this is showing 984. Look how low this thing gets. 959. Yes, that is correct. Your eyes are not tripping. 959 millibars. This is a really strong low pressure center. Look how tight these isobars are and how those winds. This is 70-80 mile an hour winds with the wound up. Look how this is what we call a closed low. And if you see this right here, this is called a dry slide. As you can see, that really strong low pressure centers often develop, and this is our deformation zone right here. It's going to produce really heavy snow. If you look at these pinks that are in there, that is 20 inches of snow or more. This is going to be a really crazy storm. This is not as much freezing rain as the last storm. This one is more of a snowmaker. So it's going to be a lot of snow, a lot of heavy rain, a whole lot of wind. We're looking at winds over in excess of 50, 60 miles per hour along the East Coast, and especially in Ohio and Indiana, and if you're in Michigan here, and in southern Ontario in Canada, you can see a lot of wind and heavy snow with this system. And this is what the GFS is painting out for the 29th and the 30th. A really strong low. This is just impressive. But we'll see if that happens. The 29th is still 2 weeks out. So let's hold our breath, okay? Let's not panic yet. I don't want to have folks in the tither. That's 2 weeks out almost. Anything can happen. The GFS does this. Tomorrow that storm pipe won't even show up. So we'll kind of just keep that under your hat and just be prepared to expect that. And here's another system that's going to form right on this hill, but this is going to be a little guy. He's not going to really amount to much, and it's going to go on offshore. Let's take a look at our European model right now. The Euro is showing a little energy. Oh, let's go back here. Started on the end. So here is our Alberta Clipper. Again, it's very similar to what the GFS has. When you're involved in when you are smack dab in the middle of the event, course, the models are going to match up. They match up perfectly on this system. That means we got it right. So here is that Alberta Clipper. It's going to work its way out, work its way across Nova Scotia and on out to sea. Another area of precipitation comes on shore in the Pacific Northwest. Going to bring snow to the mountains, rain along the coast and in the valleys. And again, the Euro is also picking up that frontal boundary with some rain and a little snow from in the higher elevations along the Appalachian Mountains. And we're going to keep it moving on, right on. And here is our next Alberta Clipper. See, the European model here kind of shows it falling apart as it moves across. It's a little bit less in the way of precipitation for Minnesota, a little bit more for Wisconsin. And hang on a second. The map don't want to move. Oh, did my map freeze? Oh, we reached the end. That's why. I forget sometimes that the European is not as long range as the GFS. So let's jump into our next map here. This is a look at those temperatures. This is what we were today. We saw those mid-30s for highs in Minnesota, and across much of the region saw mid-30s for highs, and maybe even a stray 40 here and there. But tomorrow, that will not be the story. Tomorrow, the story will be single digits for most metropolitan areas, and some of the outlying areas can hit 0 or maybe 1 or 2 degrees below 0. So we see those teens in Iowa, we see those single digits in Minnesota, in southern Minnesota, and central and northern Minnesota is going to be in the negatives, up to 10 below for high temperatures. That's not even counting wind chill. That is the actual air temperature. For high temperatures tomorrow in Minnesota, see 6 below, and then we have as much as in 12 to 15 below in North Dakota. South Dakota is going to be a little bit warmer, as they're going to be in the opposite end of the spectrum, whereas 10 to 15 below in North Dakota. Parts of South Dakota can be up to 15 above. And then we'll see those teens go across central Iowa and southern Iowa. Central and northern Illinois is going to see a swath of teens as well. Single digits in northwestern Wisconsin, with teens and single digits in southeastern Wisconsin. So southern Illinois could see temperatures as high as 35 degrees tomorrow as we gradually cool through the 20s into the teens once you get to the Wisconsin border. So Michigan, again, northern Michigan is going to see those teens and as high as 30 degrees down by the Indiana line and Ohio. So that's what temperatures look like tomorrow. Temperatures for your Thursday is more of the same. Even a little bit cooler in Minnesota. We can see temperatures fall 1 or 2 or 3 degrees below 0 for highs. And then for your Friday, we see a slight moderation in temperatures for Minnesota as we now on this side of the single digits of 0 again, and we have a high temperature of 6 in Minneapolis. And in Iowa, you see those temperatures single digits also for Wisconsin. Illinois is a little bit more diverse in its temperatures, as those single digits go all the way up to the 20s to near 30 down in southern Illinois. Same thing for Indiana, temperatures in the 20s. And Michigan also will see those teens and 20s again. So that is the forecast for your temperatures for the next several days. So we're going to go to our one other map here, and this is another shot of the Euro, and see it's going to show us these little impulses that's going to come through and bring moisture. This is our current Alberta Clipper right now that we're dealing with in the upper Midwest, and as you can see it move out, and then there is let's see another little piece of energy come through. These little pieces of energy are only going to really do anything but bring flurries. Maybe flurries or really light powdery snow is about all that we'll see from these systems moving through. Okay, so let's go to our big map and take a closer look at what's going on in the nation as a whole. And we can take a look, and we'll take a look at areas like this area here in Upper Michigan and around the Great Lakes areas. You got Lake Superior, Lake Michigan here. And let's take a closer look at what's going on. And we're going to zoom in and take a look at exactly what this Alberta Clipper is doing. As you can see, it is producing light snow across the upper UP of Michigan. Wisconsin saw a little bit of that snow. There is some lake effect snow falling right now from Lake Superior. Duluth is seeing a little lake effect snow, so as well as Superior, Wisconsin. And then there's a little snow that's moving across Lake Ontario and Lake Erie. And Lake Huron is here. And that's what's going on across the upper Midwest right now as far as that's concerned. And we're going to move over here to Minnesota, where we can see the various wind chill advisories. Wind chill advisories for northern Minnesota all the way down to central Minnesota and southern Minnesota. We can see that wind chill advisory as well for northern Iowa. And then here is another winter weather advisory for northwestern Minnesota as well as eastern North Dakota. And that is occurring not because of actual snow falling from the sky. That is because that blowing snow is creating winter conditions. You would think it's snowing because of the snow that's blowing off of the prairies in those strong 50-mile-per-hour winds. So again, there's wind chill advisories for the rest of North Dakota. And then we have wind chill advisory for South Dakota as well. Wind chill advisories for most of the Dakotas. So that's what that looks like for now. So let's zoom that map back out. Not a whole lot else is going on around the nation. Things have finally quieted down for the Northeast as that big nor'easter is finally gone out to sea. It's a distant memory. See ya, as we wait for its counterpart to come through on the 29th and 30th. We'll see if that pans out, because the GFS likes to do this. It will get your hopes up or hopes down depending on where you stand on things like big storms. So some people may not like the snow. I don't like the snow. I'm not a big fan of the snow. So that's pretty much there is a little bit. Let's take a look at another area of interest that's going on. Is in the mountains, and this is what we have going on in Montana right now. There's a little weather system moving through, producing some light snow in the mountains. And over here is where Glacier National Park is. So parts of Glacier National Park in Yellowstone. And we also see Kalispell and Whitefish, Montana, and Havre, Montana, seeing some of that snow showers as those things move on through. So that is your forecast in a nutshell. My name is Dooley Godot. Thanks for following me. I just love playing with this map. It's really awesome, and the things you can do and see with this map. Thank you for following along today, and have a good Wednesday. Have a good rest of your week. Have a great weekend. I'll be back tomorrow with another update, because remember, the weather changes every day. What I tell you today may not be the same tomorrow, especially when it comes to the potential for big storms at the end, towards the end of the month. All right. I want to remind everybody to subscribe to this channel, like the channel. Now, I'm new at this YouTube thing. I'm still nervous, and there's some equipment that I want to get and to really make it nice. So I'm not here making struggle videos, because that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. But I want everybody to watch me grow and help me grow and grow with me. Help me make this into a professional outfit where I have a green screen and can stand up. And I'd rather stand next to and show you the maps with my hands, like, like they do on television. So that's how we want to make this thing. We want to grow this channel into something special. I want to be a one-man weather channel, you know what I'm saying? I want to shout out my daughter, Gabby, who's helping me with my social media aspect of my game, helping me with my Facebook and TikTok and all that kind of stuff. Yes, I even produce videos for TikTok. So, and then really sort of promo videos for this channel. But I think I can do something pretty special across these platforms: TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, not Instagram. I don't really know how to use Instagram, but Twitter and things like that. So again, I want everybody to like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on my other social media, which is those things are in my description. The links to my other social media networks are in the description. Again, thank you and have a blessed week.